Go, hey, go, go, hey, go, go, hey.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions on drugstore makeup. Now, when I was younger and I was still obsessed with makeup and I couldn't really go out to Sephora and buy anything that was out of my budget, I would go to the dollar store a lot and I would make dollar store makeup work for my face. I couldn't just go up to spend tons of money on makeup when I was really working on a budget. So for today, I thought I would run up to the dollar store and pick up a bunch of products that I haven't tried before, so it is a first impressions, but I'm going to make it work and on a budget. I'm going to show you guys that you don't have to go out and spend tons and tons of money to make your makeup look good. So if you are excited to see a full face of first impressions on some drugstore makeup, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and just keep on watching. So this isn't new, but I really enjoy using this as my moisturizer because it has a SPF built into it, which I really love. I think this was like $6 or $7 at Walmart, but it is very affordable and I love the way it sits on my skin and the way my makeup sits underneath it. So I'm going to be using that as my moisturizer today. Alright, to start off, I always start with my brows, and I picked up this LA Colors Automatic Brow Pencil and Spoolie. I don't remember if I've tried this before or not, but I've been reaching for my Benefit Precisely My Brow a lot lately, and it's got a pretty decent sized spoolie on this end. And what I was afraid of, I hate the shape of these, kind of like a little triangle, but I will definitely give it a go and try and make it work. Just going to brush my hairs into place. Color on this so far is a little warm for what I usually go for, but the consistency of the product itself is actually really nice. Aside from the shade being off, I definitely can work with this. The consistency isn't too waxy, and it is actually pretty pigmented for it coming from the dollar store. Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of these type of pencils because once you wear down the point, it's very rounded and hard to get a precise shape. But it will definitely work. Alright, so next I picked up the Wet n Wild Makeup Sticks concealer stick. I haven't used these before, but I do enjoy using Wet n Wild products quite a bit. This is very thick and creamy. You can kind of see. So I'm just going to take this on a flat brush and use that to shape my brows a little bit more. It is very thick, and it's not blending out the way a typical liquid concealer would, but we will see how it works when I get to using it on my under eyes. Not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on my lid as well and use this as a primer for my eyeshadow. And to set that in place before I jump into eyeshadow, I picked up this LA Colors loose powder. It's just in the shade Light. It was on sale for 85 cents, so I figured I would pick it up and give it a shot. Light. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the lid, and I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush, and it's creasing already. Just tap that on top to set it in place. Next, I picked up this Day to Night palette by LA Colors. I think this was seriously $1.50, so I'm not expecting that much pigment from it, but I know when I was on a budget and I couldn't go out and get nice eyeshadow palettes, this is the kind of stuff that I would go for, and I would make it work regardless of the pigmentation. I would work and work and work and actually make it look pretty. There are no shade names on. Ooh. I'm just gonna swatch a couple of these on the back of my hand for you. It's actually pretty pigmented. That was this shimmery white. We'll go into this bronzy color. They are very chalky in consistency, but definitely can be worked with. Go in this pretty color on the outside. Oh wow, yeah, very, very chalky, but a swatch isn't necessarily going to show you how they're going to perform on your eyes. That is a really pretty color. Most of these look like shimmers, but I'm going to grab this purpley shade. You can see it picked up tons of it, and I barely tapped into my brush. And I'm just going to work this, maybe, into my crease to create some depth. I've definitely worked with a lot worse formulas. I really don't like how I try to get a fluffy brush in here and it winds up going into the two other shades. And there's tons of fallout, but for something that cheap, I wasn't expecting it to blow my mind. Next, I'm going to dip into this shade, and this is like a coppery mauve-y color. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I'm going to start by tapping that on the outer corner of my eye and then bringing it in to my crease. And for my lid, I think I'm gonna go with this third one down. This is a really pretty color. And I'm just going to press that on. And then go back in with this fluffy brush and buff out the edges. That shimmer seemed to pretty much just buff away. So I'm going to use the same concealer brush I had and go back into it. So next I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation. I don't think I've ever used this. I know it was pretty popular when I was in middle school and in high school. I'm pretty sure I got the wrong shade, but it's gonna be way too. Just bringing it down my neck to help that blend in, because this is about 2 shades way too dark. I do like the natural dewy finish it's giving me, but it's borderline looking greasy. Going to go back in with the Wet n Wild stick and see how this blends over some foundation. This being a lot lighter, it should help balance out the color of the foundation. Next, I'm going to go back in with that translucent powder and pick it up with my sponge. And just press that under my eyes. And where I concealed that. This color is super yellow. Hopefully, once I dust it away, it will be okay. So I'm gonna let this sit on my face for about 5 minutes to really set everything in, and then I will come back and dust it away. Alright, so it's been about 7 minutes since I applied the loose powder, and I'm just going to dust that off. And then any excess that I kicked off that's on my brush, I'm just going to use that to buff into my skin. So for bronzer, I did not look at the shade name, I just looked at the color in the pan. But this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade Rose Champagne. And this to me looked like a bronzer. It is kind of like a chalky orangey brown color, but we'll try and make that work. Just gonna grab a fluffy brush and go under my cheekbones. This might be a blush more for a darker skin tone, but with how fair I am, it actually works pretty well as a bronzer. Next, I'm going to jump into blush, and for $1.17 or 15 cents, I got this blusher and deluxe brush that I'm probably not going to use, but I thought this shade of blush was really pretty, so I thought I'd pick that up. And this is the shade Blushing Pink. Huh. I'm not sure what this is about, but underneath there is a mirror, and it comes with the world's smallest applicator that probably won't get used either, unless somebody wanted to multi-purpose and use this for an eyeshadow as well. Let's see. It's a pretty color. I'm just going to grab my Moda Pro pointed blush brush. Maybe. It's a nice buildable blush. It's also pretty powdery, but it is a very pretty shade. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray my face down with my Makeup Revolution Illuminating Fixing Spray. Since I didn't find a highlighter at the dollar store, I'm going to go back into this and see how this white shimmery color does as a highlighter. Not bad at all. The only thing I'm not liking about this is there are tons of chunks of glitter. But for a dollar store, very, very cheap palette, that is a beautiful highlight. I'm just going to grab a smaller flat brush and grab this champagne-y color right here. I'm actually going to dampen it because these are very, very chalky. I'm just going to hit my brow bone and the inner corners of my eyes. On a smaller, denser brush, I am going to grab that first purple shade and see if I can smoke out the bottom lash line. Then with a fluffier brush, I'm just going to use that to diffuse it. I'm actually going to grab this smoky gray color and see if I can deepen this up a little bit more. Woo! Look at that. Oh, there's tons of fallout. And this is the main reason I do my eyeshadow before my foundation. To avoid fallout, but if you do get some, just a fluffy brush to kick it off. Next, for my waterline, I picked up this LA Colors Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Black. Nope, I lied, it's in the shade Sunglasses. It's a very creamy formula. Kind of waxy also. Let's see how this works in my waterline. Now it did go on pretty nice, but because of the texture, I'm pretty sure it's going to bleed past my lower lash line. But we'll just have to wait until I check back in with you guys. For mascara, again by LA Colors, it's this Luxe Lash Mascara Super Intensify. It's supposed to lift, lengthen, got it in the shade Black, and I picked this up for $8.85. There were cheaper mascaras there, but I thought the packaging was really cute, and I haven't tried this one yet, so. It's a pretty big wand. I don't think I've used mascara with a wand like this before. Go ahead and give it a shot. Curl my lashes. Oh, before I do mascara, I picked up this Wet n Wild Megaliner Definer. Cannot forget eyeliner. Nice and black. I really hope it dries down matte because that is pretty shiny. Pretty watery formula also. Not bad though. Definitely worked with a lot worse formulas. Not my favorite, but it works. A quick liner. I'm gonna go into mascara. It dries down pretty quick, but you still have time to manipulate your lashes while it's drying. And for as cheap as it is, I wish it gave them a little bit more length, but it does give me quite a bit of volume. And I do like that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some lashes. I got these Broadway Eyes lightweight lashes in the style Starlet. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on real fast and I will be right back. Alright, lashes are on, and to finish up this look, I'm going to be using the LA Colors Matte Liquid Lip in the shade Fierce. It kind of smells like cocoa butter. Not a huge fan of this giant dofa applicator. Well, let's see how the formula works out for me. It is pretty pigmented for being $1. It is a comfortable feeling right now on my lips. I really like this color, and it went really well with my eyeshadow for today. We'll have to see how it dries down in a few minutes, but that is it for the final look. I will do a quick recap on everything for the first impressions and see what worked and what really didn't. So it has been about 9.5 hours since I did my makeup earlier. I ate lunch, ate dinner, I had bowling tonight, so I had a couple beers and some chips and stuff, but the lipstick for the most part has stayed on. It's feathered away in the middle. I am a little bit greasy, but for the most part it's held up pretty good. Let's get a little closer and see underneath my eyes. It wasn't even a translucent powder, but the setting powder I use, you can see where it clung on, and like down the bridge of my nose where it's a little discolored, and I can see it's starting to break apart pretty good. But for very cheap dollar store makeup, it's held up pretty good. I'm a little greasy and shiny, but not completely horrible for it being time for me to wipe off my face. I just wanted to check in with you guys and give you an update on how everything's held up. The brow product held up really good. The eyeshadow, I'm very surprised, held up. My lower lash line, I can see where the eyeliner is smudging pretty good underneath. For the most part, without a single touch-up for it lasting all day long. And it lasted through a nap too, so this is pretty good if I do say so myself. But yeah, I am going to take my lashes off and go wash and exfoliate my face and get ready for bed. But wanted to give you guys a little check-in on how everything held up. We will see you guys next time. Bye!